Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, back again to do another quick little lesson. Again, taken from my latest book, which is Country Guitar Soloing Techniques. If that is something that is of appeal to you, or you enjoy this video and you want to learn more, then there's a link below. You can head on over to amazon.com or .co.uk and pick yourself up a copy. Put a lot of time into this one, really proud of it, and yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy some of the content. So what I'm going to talk about today is hybrid picking and banjo rolls. Now I have a chapter on both of those in the book because, as I'm sure you're aware, it's a very common part of the country guitarist's vocabulary. So in order to show you this properly, I've set up another little camera. Boom! There we go. So now you're going to be able to see what my pick and my fingers are doing. Of course, I'm going to talk you through all of those as well. So what is hybrid picking? Well, hybrid picking is the act of using a hybrid technique, a combination of the pick and fingers. So whereas standard pick playing guitar might look something like this, if you look at my pick, that's with the pick, a hybrid picking player might play So it's me using a combination of the pick and my fingers. So how can we work on that? How can we develop that technique? Well, first of all, you need to become comfortable with the mechanic of using a finger. So what I would recommend for that is taking any part, anything that you might play. So let's take a G triad here at the 5th fret. That's 5, 4 and 3 on the D, G and B strings. And what we're going to do is we're going to place our pick on the D string, our middle finger on the G string, and our ring finger on that B string. They're all placed there. They're all sat waiting on that string. So if I need to, I can pluck all of them like that. And that's with a kind of pinching motion. Like this. Pinch. We can also work on just playing with a pick and then that middle finger. So we might go. We could do the same with a pick and the ring finger. You could try using that index finger on the B string. Just getting comfortable using that finger, and it's what I call pre-placement technique. The finger doesn't sit out here and go and then come in and strike the string. It's the finger is there before I pluck the string. As soon as that pick goes down, this finger is already waiting. So that's basic kind of hybrid picking technique. And of course that is that's all over country guitar playing. Now what we're going to really look at though is the rolling technique. So this requires the use of more than one finger in succession. So again, if we go back to our G triad, I'm going to take that G triad, and what I want you to get used to playing is the D string, the G string, and then the B string, like that. Now look at that really closely. You'll see that those fingers, they are already there as soon as that pick hits. Now they're in the air, and as soon as that pick hits, the fingers are there. Now you might ask about nails. As you can see, I don't have any nails on my fingers. I've always played with the flesh of my fingers. That works for me. It will work for you if you persevere, though you of course can grow nails. You can apply false acrylic nails like guys like Brent Mason do, or Johnny Highland. The flesh works fine for me though. So there's our first basic little exercise. And we're trying to have a decent amount of volume from each of those notes. We don't want it to sound like this. Decent volume. So, as an exercise, what we can do is we can play that in time. So 1 E and 2 E. Or actually, let's do it as a triplet. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and round and round we go. That is a good exercise, but what I find was really useful for my dexterity, building a bit of speed on that, was to put what John Petrucci calls a Spanish lap in there. That involves a sprint. So we'll do a jog and then a sprint. So in order to do that, I'm going to play... So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and a... It's actually an eighth note pattern. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a... 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and a... It's hard to say that and do that at the same time, but that's going to sound like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And a bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. So great little exercise to help develop some dexterity in these fingers. And that's always going to be the problem with the hybrid picking technique. It's having that level of dexterity. But, you know, that works great, because when I start playing vocabulary, you'll see that... Sometimes I can play that clean as well. So there's our basic roll, the forward roll technique. But really the banjo roll that I wanted to introduce you to today is a combination of the two things we've looked at so far. So it's a simple eighth note pattern taken from banjo players, and well worth looking into great banjo players like Earl Scruggs, obviously. Or you can listen to, you know, the more modern banjo players. But what we're talking about is players that have come from that Scruggs technique of the thumb and two fingers. So the pattern that I would play would be this. So that's, in terms of strings, D, G, D, G, B, D, G, B. So you play two notes, and then we do two forward rolls. That's a good little mechanic to work on. What I'm going to introduce you to, though, is an actual little lick. Again, taken from my book, Country Guitar Soloing Techniques, available now. And in essence, what I'm doing is, wow, my hand's really in shot there, isn't it? I'm just taking on the high strings an E triad. So that's 13, 12, and 12. But for each one of these chord voicings, I'm going to leave the high E string open to kind of tie it all together. So really, we've got 13 and 12 on the G and B with an open E. I then move that down a tone. That gives us a D triad with an open E note. Kind of like a D add 9. And then again, an E triad. So this would be 9 and 9 on the G and B. Again, open E string, so E triad sound. And then again, D triad, 7, 7 with an open E. And if we apply that roll to it, if I play it nice and slow, we get this. quicker. And quicker still. So it's a nice little idea, and certainly something that you can develop over a period of time. Take it incredibly slowly and build up that speed. And you will develop over time. There's no reason to give up on this one. You know, players like Albert Lee have this technique down to a fine art, and I'm sure if you devote the time to it, you're going to get there with it too. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. I'm sure you have. If you haven't, then write me in the comment section, let me know, and I will refund you your money, as they say. Spoilers, the YouTube video is free, so... Anyway, so if you have enjoyed that, as I would recommend, please do head on over to Amazon, check out Country Guitar Soloing Techniques. Really proud of how that one's turned out. It's also a compilation book, actually, that contains 3 of my books, all in one for one low price. That's also worth checking out. Beautiful cover on there from my friend Carson Hess. Wonderful Telecaster on the cover of that. So again, huge thank you to Carson for that. Lastly, I always have to do this on my videos. I have to say thank you to all of these excellent people over here. These guys are my Patreon supporters. Well, these guys support me on Patreon at $10 or more. So yeah, huge thank you guys. Helps me to keep doing what I do. I enjoy doing this, and evidently you enjoy me doing it too. So yes, we'll keep going this way. I'll keep making content, and feel free to keep supporting me. If you would like to join that list, you can do so for $10, or alternatively, you can head on over to my Patreon page and support me for as little as $1. That gives you access to my private patron-only Facebook group, lots of fun stuff going on in there, transcription challenges and the like, and of course, constant access to me. Who'd want that? Anyway, you can do that by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking this little button down here, and you will see 2 more of my videos here and here. As always, feels like a catchphrase at this point. Thank you so much for the support, guys. It really does mean the world, though. It means so much that people watch my videos. So much love. Thanks for watching, and I will see you for another video soon. Bye.